guys, welcome to another episode of In the Kitchen with Rosie Christman. So today I want to teach you how to make green smoothies. Now when I say how to make green smoothies, I really mean how I make green smoothies. Because this process is going to be different for everybody. And don't think that my way is the only way. You guys are going to discover this all on your own, what works for your family, what you like, what you don't like. Probably my green smoothies, not everybody would think were deliciously tasty. So I make it a little different for my kids than I would for me. So this green smoothie will be more like what I would make for my kids. So to get started, I always start with kefir yogurt. That is usually my only liquid. And I will do about 4 cups of kefir. Now just so I don't waste the kefir, I'll throw a tiny bit of water in that jar, just a little bit, so that I can swish that around. Woo! Swish that around and get all the kefir. So I should have worn an apron, right? But you live and learn. Okay, so it's about 4 cups of kefir, and then I just start putting in a bunch of fruits and vegetables. Now, I will do, when I made broccoli the other day, I cut off all the cute florets, and the rest of the broccoli stem is going to go in there. Celery, I'm just going to cut the bottom off, and it's going to go in my chicken bucket. And then the rest of it's just going to go in there. Celery is something that has a pretty strong flavor, so you don't want to do too much celery. I'm going to throw some cabbage in there. Cabbage is another thing that has a pretty strong flavor, so I don't want to do too much cabbage either. I'm just going to cut a chunk of cabbage off, throw that in there. So my goal in making a smoothie for my family is nutrients. It's to pack it full of good nutrients. So I'm going to throw, this is just frozen spinach. I'm going to throw probably the rest of my bag in there. Now if it's fresh spinach, I'll just grab a great big huge handful and throw it in there. So I've got some kale, some organic baby kale. Now this is also frozen. So I'm going to throw a chunk of that in there. Now I will, what else do we have here? I already took some stuff out so the video would go quicker. Here I've got some pumpkin or squash seeds. I don't even know what kind of squash it is. Seeds are generally super healthy. So if I'm cutting up bell peppers, I will actually save the bell pepper insides, all those seeds, because they're super healthy. So this is what I have left of my squash seeds. Seeds don't add very much flavor at all, but it adds a bunch of nutrients. So any kind of seeds you have, just throw them in there. Now when I'll do fruits and vegetables. So you notice this banana is a little bit ripe for what most people would like to eat bananas at. That's okay, in your smoothie you're not going to be able to tell. I've got an orange here. Depending on what I've got in my kitchen, really depends on what I put in my smoothie. Now on my orange, I will cut off quite a bit of the peel, but there's some really good nutrients in the peel itself. And so, but too much peel will change your flavor substantially. So I'll cut off most of my peel and then the rest I'll put back in my smoothie. Now I will tell you, everybody has differing opinions. My husband and I don't always share the opinions either. So I like organic, but I can't always afford organic. And so like my baby kale is organic, so I don't wash it. I just put it right in my freezer. But my spinach is not, so I actually wash it and then put it in a plastic bag. So when I wash my food, I actually am a big prayer, and I will just pray and say a little prayer, ask Heavenly Father to help get rid of any toxins that might be on the fruit or vegetable. So for what it's worth, you may kind of think I'm a little weird now, but that's okay. You're going to get used to me being weird. That's how I do this. So we'll throw some fruits in there. If I had apples, I'd do apples. One of my go-tos, always, I will put a big chunk of orange juice concentrate in there. Now, something else that's a huge thing for me is called citricidal. That is grapefruit seed extract. So I will go ahead and put a few drops of citricidal, probably 3 or 4 drops of that. Now citricidal, if you can imagine what the inside of the oil from the inside of a grapefruit seed tastes like, it is bitter, nasty, but if it's mixed with something citrusy like orange juice, you can't taste it. And it's super healthy. It's a great way to keep colds and flus away from your home, away from your family. Another thing I'm going to throw in really quick, is some omega fish oil. Now this brand is called Barlean's. I really like it. There's different brands that you can use, but it's just a whole bunch of omega-3 fish oil supplements. So it's got great omega-3s. You'll also get some great omega fats in flax seeds. So here I have a mix of flax seeds and chia seeds. I usually mix them in about equal proportions. Flax gives you some great omega fats. Chia seeds are just a good superfood that give you a lot of good nutrients. So I always put like a tablespoon or 2 of those in it. I have started putting other things in it. Somebody gave me this hemp protein powder, and I don't love it. But hemp protein is really good for you, and in my smoothie I can hardly taste it. So I'll put a few scoops of hemp protein in it. Like I said earlier, I think I said, my purpose in making smoothies for my family and for myself is just to get a lot of good nutrients in it. So whatever I can, whatever I know. I just learned about diatomaceous earth. This is a food grade, 100% food grade diatomaceous earth. It is wonderful for your gut health, and it actually helps fight candida. And that's something I've been struggling with. So I am now throwing diatomaceous earth in my smoothie. So I'll put like a tablespoon or 2 of that. Now right here we'll have a beautiful green smoothie. However, there are other things that are really good for smoothies. If you throw some beets in it, this is just the rest that I have in this bag. But if you throw some beets in it, beets are another thing that are pretty strong, so you don't want to do too many beets. But if you throw beets in it, you can have a bright pink smoothie. If you do a few less greens, you can have a fluorescent pink smoothie, and kids think that's really cool. We also were on the Washington coast and picked a bunch of blackberries. So we'll throw a chunk of blackberries in because that makes a delicious smoothie. Depending on where my family is health-wise, if we're starting to fight colds, this is just concentrated elderberry juice. Awesome for colds, so I might throw a little capful of that in there. And I just never measure. So if you're one of those that like exact recipes, my kitchen is probably not one for you to visit frequent a lot, but you might be able to get used to just randomly throwing things in how you want if you keep watching. This is stevia extract. It is my sweetener of choice. I will probably put 3 squirts of stevia in it. And if I feel like it's not quite sweet enough, I'll throw another one in. So just for your information, my citricidal, my stevia, and you don't have to buy it there, but I have found the best price for those things is actually Vitacost. This is a Total B. It's a vitamin B supplement that has a whole bunch of different ones in it. I will throw a squirt of that in it. I am out currently, but Green Smoothie Girl has some minerals that if I had that with me, I'd throw some minerals in there. I think I've got pretty much everything. I am not prepared with my Vitamix lid. Let me grab that really quick. And here's where we blend it up. Now often it'll just blend perfect all on its own. Vitamix has this nice little tamper so that if it doesn't, I can push that in there. The longer you blend your smoothie, the smoother it will be. So, like you see here, we've got kind of a purpley pink smoothie. So sometimes you'll have a green smoothie, sometimes you'll have a purple smoothie, sometimes bright pink, whatever you put in it. And like I said, don't feel like you have to follow this exactly. Like if you're needing more fat or calories in your diet, I would recommend throwing cashews in here. They make it creamy. Avocados will make it really creamy, so throw half of an avocado in there, and it really doesn't change the flavor so much. So you'll learn the fruits and vegetables that change your flavors dramatically and some that are pretty mild. So have fun, play with it, put whatever you feel like in it. Your goal, my goal, is to just pack it full of good nutrients. So thanks for joining me and enjoy your smoothie.